Welcome to Deadwood once more, and we're going to be talking about astrology and the upcoming month. So happy Sun in Virgo, happy Moon in Virgo, new Moon September 2nd in the evening hours, the later hours of the day, and today is September 3rd, and my kitty still loves me, and so we're going to be talking about kind of an overview rather than a sign by sign sort of thing. So what I do is I look at the planets and look at the patterns, what's going on now, and bring my 50 years of experience to talk above any log trucks that might be going by. So Virgo, I think Virgo is really misunderstood as a sign. I grew up in a heavily Virgo friendly household. And I really got that, it's not like Virgos are heartless or whatever. They're just very succinct and very focused. And, anytime I watch a Star Trek movie or whatever and I see Vulcans, I'm like, okay, Virgo. And ironically, Vulcan, the planet Vulcan, which there's mythology around, might have, might have been the ruling planet of Virgo. I said wow because a large bird, an eagle or whatever, just flew overhead, and that was really inspiring. Okay, so Virgo is an earth sign, mutable earth sign. Things are changing right now. It's now late summer, and it's time to get our affairs in order. We've gone through some really, I don't know if I call it challenging because it's not for everybody, but basically some really interesting times lately, haven't we, Caboodle? And so basically Jupiter being in square with Saturn recently and all this other stuff, Jupiter moving through Gemini gives a lot of opportunities. And as I look, one of the big themes that's happening is in the middle of this month, Jupiter and Saturn and the Sun and so forth, other planets, are going to be forming a T-square. So there's going to be this is the time to do everything. Jupiter brings forth abundance. The Virgo influence brings forth the wanting to be task-oriented, wanting to accomplish things. And then there's Saturn in Pisces, which is very big on dreaming. Saturn in Pisces is retrograde right now. Very powerful energy. Saturn in Pisces is sort of nebulous for most people. Most of my clients that have Saturn in Pisces, that would be you're pushing 30 or in your late 50s or whatever. If you have Saturn in Pisces, usually my clients with Saturn in Pisces, they don't necessarily know what they're doing as grown-ups. Even, they could be doing it for 30 years and they're sort of nebulous about what the career is, what the goal is. But the other side of that, of Saturn and Pisces, is the ability to make dreams happen, to take that energy of Saturn earthing and apply it to your dreaming. So this is going to become, even more prevalent in the month of September as things unfold, because there's going to be, it's a little subtle right now under the new moon in Virgo and all that, going into Libra as I speak. But the other side of that is the T-square happens, and then there's a lunar eclipse, which is occurring on September 17th and into the evening. I look, and here on the West Coast, it's sort of happening right before nightfall, so it's going to be, if you can see it in the early evening hours, the darkening of the moon and all that. And that's on September 17th and moving into the 18th. Apparently it's an annular eclipse, so it's not fantastic, but it will be visible in the Americas and into Europe and so forth like that, going right across the middle. So that's exciting because things change under eclipses, and things change under the new moon, what's going on now, but this lunar eclipse is always a full moon, and it's a special kind of full moon where the sun, moon, and earth line up very strongly, and strong alignment there. And so what that's about is about that balance between the Virgo doing, the Virgo making things happen on Earth plane, getting the jobs done, getting the tasks done, and really moving energy on a very fundamental level, and hopefully fun and mental. You have Saturn on the other end, and Saturn being all about, Saturn's a little bit out of his realm because Saturn's in the sign of dreaming. And so, yeah, happy fall. I guess I'm going to be talking about fall in a few minutes because they sure are. So Saturn in Pisces being creative dreaming that can go on now. And in the middle of the month with Jupiter also in Gemini, well, it kind of means that there's like too much to do, that there's a lot of abundance. So maybe the good news in that is that we're all going to be really busy in the month of September. If you're not busy this month, right about now, particularly the middle of the month, use your imagination because there is so much. This is not the time to be bored or sit on your laurels. It's the time, unless you're a cat, this is the time to really be doing things. Although one could argue that a cat is creatively dreaming, at this very moment. Aren't you, Caboodle? Yeah. And he's hanging on my every word. He's my best fan. Saturn and Pisces, that's also about small animals and things like that. Neptune's in Pisces as well. They're both retrograde. So there's kind of a redoing that's going on right now. And a time of abundance. So, there can be some fixing up and going on. And there can be some really strong new opportunities as well. Venus moving through Libra most of this month. Venus in Libra is just really nice. I want to say a heart send. It's like a God send, but it's like a heart send. Venus in Libra is a good time for connecting socially and relationship and so forth. And then there's that Mercury. So Mercury, the winged messenger, just went into retrograde and came out of it. He, she, it, they can't decide what to do. They're an androgynous goddess, by the way, which is interesting. So Mercury, Hermes, so there's things are moving quite quickly, but the thing is people contemplate Mercury retrograde, but they don't think about, well, what happens before and after that. What happens is Mercury comes out of retrograde and it's stationary for a few days, and that's the end of August just happened, and now it's like picking up speed and zipping through the end of Leo where it just was. So all of us late baby boomers are experiencing a real quickening of our minds, and then Mercury moves into Virgo, and that's where it was when it retrograded. So on September 9th, Mercury moves back into Virgo, and that's when I think that's going to be a real instigation of doing for people. That's when we kind of wake up and go, whoa, okay, what is it I want to do? Fall's coming. So we have different agendas for what that means. Everything from, social life and getting done with vacations to getting our shopping list done, getting our doing list done. That's part of it. So as I mentioned, the first half of the month is going to be real building, and that's going on now, and it picks up to a head until the night of the 17th, and then there's a spilling over, then there's a release, and that's going to be the interesting thing. So pay attention to that, because the second half of the month is going to be sort of a real outpouring of doing. And then we had the fall equinox. Equinox means equal night, and so that happens on September 23rd, every year. A little bit early this year, it's probably the 22nd. So that's when we can realign to the next level of our agenda, whatever that might be. Social life is big. Our mental task list is very big right now. This is a time for great doing and great integration. And I encourage you to do that. So be very active right now. Yeah, get your reading, because this is very different for each person. So particularly if you're in the middle of the mutable signs, Gemini, Virgo, Pisces, and Sagittarius. There's some special messages for you here. And the rest of us, well, get a reading, because this is just, a great time to look at perspective and do an overview and make those plans. So that being said, me and my buddy Caboodle are going to wish you the best. He's doing the Pisces part. I'm doing the Virgo part right now. And happy dreaming and happy doing. You can find me at Astrowizardry.com. Like our page, like all we're doing, and like yourself most of all.